What's going on, Bears fans? It's your boy Abel Bird, and this is Bird's Eye on the Bears. And that shit was crazy. That game last night was like a fucking movie. And if this is your first time tuning in, please hit that like button and that subscribe button, especially if you're a diehard Bears fan, because last night was just like, I'm still like, I blacked out. And I'm just so happy for all you Bears fans and all of us Bears fans in the city of Chicago. That was like stepping up to the bully that's been taking your money, your lunch money for 30 years, and you finally punch him in the fucking face. And you did it in Chicago a few weeks back, and then you do it. This was like the knockout punch, and it was like doing it in front of the whole school. And it's like, you're the new cool guy now, and you're being talked about. You're the talk of the school. You're the talk of the town. And that's what this feels like. It feels like the Bears are like obviously going to be the talk of the week, of the playoffs, most likely, and of the off season. And it just feels like a curse has been broken. You know, if you're a Bears fan, you know what I'm talking about. You understand completely what I'm feeling, and you feel what I feel. The Bears came out in the first half, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm almost in my head at the end of that first half, like, almost in a way, like, I'm just glad the pressure. I'm just glad it's over, because I'm thinking in my head, like, here we go again. We can't win a big game, and I'm just, and that's how I was feeling. Like, for right or wrong, that's what I was feeling as a Bears fan. Like, we can't, of course we came in here thinking that we can beat our arch rivals, our blood rivals, and we're just laying an egg pretty much. And it just felt like the Packers were putting us back in our place. And I kind of was just like, not even upset. I was just more like really disappointed and just like used. But I also have been used to that feeling as a Bears fan my whole life. So I was just like, whatever. And not that it didn't even feel bad. It just felt like normal. It felt like I just felt so, like, honestly relieved. Like, well, I'm glad. I'm just relieved of all the pressure that I felt coming up into this week. And I was just like, well, we got to get better. We're almost there, but we got to get better. And Green Bay is still the king of the North, pretty much. You had Ben Johnson and the offense. They were flat. They were frustrated. The Packers, to the Packers' credit, they were playing tough. They came in with a different kind of energy. And the Bears' defense was just getting cooked. The front four, of course, wasn't getting any pressure. The Packers wide receivers, their speed, there was just too much for us. The man defense was just getting cooked. Our corners were just getting cooked. And you go into that first half, going into the second half, thinking the Packers are probably going to come out and score again. They're going to score, and they're going to be up 28-3. I did think, however, that McManus miss kind of gave the Bears and myself a little bit of momentum, because when he missed it, when he missed that kick, I kind of, perked up a little bit. Like, maybe there's a little bit of hope for us, but overall, you didn't feel too good at all going into the first half. Like, it just really felt like, how are we gonna stop this offense? And is our offense gonna, even if our offense gets going, will it be too late? And you know, it was just a really tough feeling. You know, Soldier Field was quiet, as dead as a doornail. Then we come out of the second half, and let me go on a Dennis Allen tangent real quick. Let me give Dennis Allen his flowers, because I was really rough on him last week, and I had a really emotional take, and I had an emotional take about him getting fired. And while I made that take, and I don't think that he should be fired, I didn't think that he should be fired. As that first half was going on, I was thinking, like, in my head, like, I don't know, does him being fired kind of get put on the table with how the performance was going into that second half, and also going in from the last 3 games of the season? But I gotta give him a lot of credit, man, because the way that defense came out in that second half was just it was big time. It was a total flip script, a script flip, or flip script, however you want to say it. It was I mean, I've never seen a script get flipped like that, from the dominance that the Packers had from the line of scrimmage to, it was just seemed like the Bears had the dominance of the line of scrimmage on both sides, the offensive line and the defensive line. The way it just seemed like the Packers, the receivers, their speed, the way that their speed mattered in that first half, it just flipped, and it seemed like our corners it just didn't matter. It felt like our corners were sticky, and I don't know, the corners were sticky, and it seemed like it didn't matter that the Packers' speed, it seemed like they negated any ability that the Packers receivers had going into the second half. The guys were just sticky as hell, man. And then the linebacker play, there was just that urgency there. And I don't know what Dennis Allen said to them boys in that halftime, but the adjustments that he made, putting Kyler Gordon in, even taking Jalen Johnson out for a little bit in that first half, I feel like that might have gotten Jalen Johnson's juices going a little bit. And and it's just, whatever the adjustments he made were just unbelievable and unreal. I mean, the Bears turned into like a top 10 defense over a 15-minute half period. So shout out to Dennis Allen, and I give you all your flowers, man. You proved me wrong, and I'm so happy for it. So shout out to you. And I also want to give shout out to the Bears defensive players as well. And just, I know that there's a lot of leadership on that side of the ball with Kevin Byard, Jalen Johnson, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards. And I feel like Montez Sweat, I feel like those guys went into that half, and they were just like, we're not going to let this team beat us. We're not going to let them walk all over us how they walked all over us in this first half. And I feel like those guys were just dead set and determined on making sure that whatever happens in this second half, Those guys are not going to do what they did on us this first half. We are going to buckle down. We're going to get to the quarterback. We're going to play sticky coverage. We're going to run to the ball. And they did that. And they gave the Caleb Williams and that offense and Ben Johnson second life and a chance to do what they had to do. And when it comes to Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, what else is there to say, man? I mean, they've been doing it all year to deal with the frustration, battle through that, what they had to go through, and to come out in that second half, and they still had to deal with a lot in that third quarter. They still had to deal with the 4th and 1 missed opportunity, a lot of missed opportunities that they had. I think had to kick 2 field goals, or was it 2 field goals or just 1? I think it was 2 field goals that they had to settle for, and to battle through that and to keep getting the chances that they had, and eventually they broke through and scored on that DeAndre Swift run, and Caleb Williams to keep battling no matter, even through his frustrations on the sideline, and that 4th and 8 throw. That was game right there. If we don't get that with 6 minutes left, it's 4th and 8. If we don't convert that 4th down, we give the Packers the ball back at their 40-yard line with them being up 11 or 12. And this dude makes one of the best throws you'll ever see. One of the best. That throw will be a reoccurring highlight in the playoff highlights that you usually see in the years when they do the little playoff montages. That throw will be on those montages. And Caleb Williams, that's the generational talent that you got. That's the number 1 pick talent that everyone was talking about with him. Putting the team on his back. The dude did a jump man throw across his body while getting tackled, while going to the ground. Just pure arm. And Rome Odunze, the presence of mind to adjust his route and body control and the catch. That was to keep the game alive, and we still had more to do after that. I'm speechless, man. I know I just spoke a lot, but I'm just speechless. Let's give our flowers to Colston Loveland as well. This dude, second half of the season, he's a matchup nightmare. First, you pick him 10. There was a lot of talk about why should you pick a tight end. I wasn't too fond of them picking a tight end top 10. And then he didn't really have a lot of production the first half of the year. Tyler Warren's cooking in Indianapolis. So you're like, did we pick the wrong tight end? And then this guy just turns into Travis Kelce out of nowhere. And this game specifically, we needed him so much. I think he had like 12 catches or 13 catches for like 130 yards or 150 yards. But man, this dude is a matchup nightmare. And he had some of the biggest catches down the stretch, specifically that last drive that was capped off by a DJ Moore touchdown. Packer fans do not like DJ Moore. Let's just put that out there right now. But Colston Loveland is just becoming Caleb's favorite target. And he is becoming one of those guys that you have to prepare for and you have to look out for, that defenses are scared of. And it's starting to look like Mahomes, Kelsey. I'm just saying. And shout out to Colston Loveland, man. That dude deserves his flowers as well. He stepped up when it mattered most this game, and we're going to need him in the years to come and in this playoff stretch specifically. We might have just changed the Packers' trajectory organizationally with that one game. What does it look like with Matt LaFleur now? Because you got a new president with Ed Policy. You're going into a year where Ed Policy, he said it himself. He doesn't believe in lame duck coaches. He doesn't believe in prove it year deals or allowing a coach to go into his last year of his contract. And so you have to either fire him or you have to re-sign him and or give him a contract extension. And going into this game, that's what the talks were, is that Matt LaFleur, no matter what happens on this Bears game, in this game, they're gonna look at a contract extension, which makes sense. And I think most Bears fans would even say that Matt LaFleur is a great coach, and why would you get rid of him? And that's kind of the boat I was in too. Like, I don't think that you should get rid of the guy. But losing a game like that to your blood rival in front of the whole world in the playoffs, and it's your second collapse against them this year. And it's not the first time Matt LaFleur has had bad playoff losses. What are those contract talks look like? And did the Bears just make that a lot harder for Matt LaFleur and the Packers? And did they just change the Packers' trajectory for the next 5 to 10 years? I think they just did. And that's gotta feel so good. Because these things usually, as a Bears fan, these things usually don't happen to the Packers. They usually happen to us. But now you're kind of looking at it and you're like, we just put all the pressure on them to either A, make a move, or stick with the guy that just embarrassed himself and his team in front of the whole league. And yeah, but that's for them to figure out, which is crazy to say. But hey, when you don't give up and you play a game like that, man, that's just what happens. Chicago Bears fans, I want you to just soak this in for the next few days. I love that we get to watch who we get to play against, and we're not 100% sure, but we get to watch the rest of the playoffs with such just a pure fan standpoint. Like, we get to watch it as a Bears fan, but also get to enjoy it as an NFL fan, because we're playing with house money now, and it feels like all the pressure of the 30 years just released in that one game. And now we get to just sit back and enjoy it. And that's what I want you to do. Just sit back and enjoy this win. And enjoy the playoffs. And the Bears have a real shot at going to the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't tell me that that game and that defense isn't going to show up next week versus whoever we face and for the rest of the playoffs. And you can't tell me that Caleb Williams isn't going to make it happen down the stretch, because that's all Iceman does. I think that's the kind of game that propels your team to making one of those playoff runs. And it's one of those games where as a team you're like, we got past that one. And we did what we had to do. We scratched and clawed our way back into that game and won that game. Now this next game, let's just dominate. Let's come out from the jump and dominate from the beginning to the end. And you can't tell me that the Bears don't have the momentum to do that. I don't see the defense just coming out flat next game, or for the rest of the playoffs for that matter. The Bears have a real shot at getting to the Super Bowl. I love you, Bears fans. I love the city of Chicago, and I love everybody in the city of Chicago that's able to just enjoy this and high five and look at their counterpart, not their counterpart, but their co-workers and the guys on the street and girls on the street with Bears gear on, and just look at each other and just say, bear down, and mean it, and just enjoy it, guys and girls. Enjoy this. We'll see you next week. Bear down.